Well, before I started with Screen Ed, about 2.5 years ago, I had very limited filmmaking experience.
I hadn't really done anything to do with film.
I just made my own films, a lot on little crappy cameras.
I kind of told everybody that I knew that I wanted to get into film. And I had kind of, different reactions. I had the friends that would kind of just like, oh, good for you. I had the kind of jokingly answers that were like, you'll never make it. And I had genuinely people just look me straight in the face, like some teachers saying, that's not possible and that'll never happen.
I didn't really expect much because I hadn't had any experience of it before. I was quite excited because it was something different. And also it wasn't in school, which I quite liked.
Young people really benefit from having quite a concrete project to imagine, because it's very difficult for young people to sometimes conceive of what a product might be in terms of any effort they put in voluntarily. Because when they come to youth project, it is their time, they're doing it voluntarily. So for them to envisage the future, the future potential of any involvement that they might have in a project with filmmaking, it's very clear. You've got these skills, you've got this product.
I didn't really know what was going to happen, to be honest. I didn't think there was going to be a lot of people. I really kind of underestimated how many people are interested in filmmaking.
I didn't know what to expect because I didn't know the way film was made.
I didn't know what to expect, apart from a friend, so it was a room full of strangers to me, and the tutors were coming in, and I think the first thing that really helped me was the tutors were incredibly friendly.
I don't know who I was expecting of the tutors. The image that I had in my head was like some old guy in a tweed jacket, kind of like in a media class sort of way, like explaining, oh, this is what mise en scène means and all that. And no, it wasn't like that at all. It was just a couple of really cool and chilled guys, and we had equipment and it would just go from there.
We got taught the basic camera work at first, and then the story development. We all thought of our own stories for a short film.
At first I thought I would be really rubbish at it, and when I started to use it I was alright.
We did taster sessions in sound and directing and on camera, but they were all quite basic because it was a sort of foundation for us to build upon our knowledge.
I felt like working with the group every week and the mentors was really good because I got to get a sense of confidence in making films.
Week by week, the pupils would come in and would discuss about what we'd done the previous week, the filming and their ideas of where they would like the actual film to go next. We looked at what they'd done well and what they could improve. So we introduced them to using storyboards, and it was fantastic because they could then approach their ideas through just using images.
We then came up with ideas for a film, pitched them all, and then everyone kind of chose two that we really liked.
I thought it was a little bit competitive, but that's sort of a real interpretation of what the industry is like, so it was great to see everybody wanting their idea made.
We got to develop script, we got to do storyboards, we got to do camera work, sound work, editing and directing, acting as well.
There was all these roles that I had never even heard of before, and I had no idea how much was involved in actually making a film. But it was a really good experience getting to understand that, and I'm glad that they didn't make us pick at the time and everybody got to have a go at every role.
I didn't think I was actually going to be able to do it properly, but it turned out pretty well.
When we were filming, I was completely in my element. I was very happy, I enjoyed it so much. And then when we went on to the editing, I really loved that as well. And there was always this bit of excitement about coming in. I mean, I practically lived in the Screen Ed building while we were editing because I loved it that much.
We learned how to work with actors. Graham, who was our tutor at the time, taught us to not shout across the room, rather we're approaching the actors and talking to them personally.
The first shoot I was late for was my own shoot, basically, so it was off to a great start, and then other things went wrong. Actors didn't turn up, and it turned into a fact where everyone just had to pull together and make the film. Everyone supported me in that, and it made me feel more secure.
What were the teachers like?
Fun.
What I like about the teaching at Screen Education Edinburgh, with the training sessions at the start, you're less babied the whole way through, because it differs from in school, because not everybody has an interest and not everybody has as much knowledge as you. So the teacher's there to guide you the whole way through the project and kind of, I don't know, takes over a little bit in some aspects of it. But you get the training sessions at the start of the course, and that teaches you everything. And then you have the trust and the freedom to do things yourself. But you're always, like, there's always people there to help you.
I think what really helped me come out my shell as well was the tutors. They were very friendly, and you found yourself, like, because I was so quiet, I found myself almost talking more than I was realising, and it was mainly because of the fact that they were kind of coercing me out, where it came across more as chat than as a lesson. You know, because, I mean, the truth be told, we were learning, like, all the time, constantly, without even realising it. But the format it was done in, it was sort of like sitting in a room full of friends and chatting about making a film.
I think that the way that we interact with the tutors at Screen Ed is really good, because it's so different from, like, a learning environment in school. It's more like, it's much more sort of interactive in the way that you learn from doing. They show you and explain to you in a way that isn't patronising or condescending, and it is really just picking up new skills.
I had 3 tutors, and every one of them actually spoke to you like you're a human being. They didn't speak down to you as well. They're all filmmakers, and I had seen their work, which I think is really important for me, because it makes me respect them. I think it maybe works for other kids as well. It's like, we respect them because we know that they make films, we know they're good films, so we trust them to help us make good films.
How did it feel to see your film screening on the big screen at the film house?
Happy.
Did you enjoy it?
Yes.
They were extremely excited that they were actually going to have a showing in a big cinema, and they all wanted to invite all their family. There was no embarrassment about mum or dad turning up. They were keen for not just mum and dad, but nan and grandpa to come along and see what they had done.
There was a screening at the North Edinburgh Arts Centre. That was really cool, having in primary school, going to watch films there. I remember seeing a German film about a football team in there. So it was quite cool to see our film being shown.
It's quite mental, because the day before the screening, I had been to that cinema in that exact screen to watch a Tom Cruise film, and then my film was playing on the same screen the next day, and I'm kind of sitting there like, wow.
It was just really cool watching my own film on a big screen in a cinema with other people watching as well. I was like, that's me, and people are watching what I did.
And I remember just credits came up, and Rising Up, and it just said under continuity Sam Thompson, which of course my name, and I remember just Dad quickly took out his phone and took a photo of it, which ended up on Facebook, and it got like 50, 60 likes, and just seeing my name up there was just really cool.
I don't often go to the film house, but I've been normally with my grandma, and then my grandma was there at the screening, and it felt really weird to sit beside her and watch one of my films rather than a professional. Like, it was like seeing a professional film, and my grandma even said to me, it's surreal seeing your film there. Like, I never in a million years thought that I would be sitting in the film house watching one of my grandson's films.
Being able to show parents and family and others, I did that. I was directly involved in that. There's something quite magical about all of that, really.
The end product was the most successful thing I've been involved in. It was so professional.
When I first started out, I had absolutely no intention of having film as a career path. Like, it was a hobby and it was something cool to do. But after going through the process of doing a couple of projects with Screen Ed and continued my study in School of Media Studies, I felt like it was like the only thing I could do after leaving school. There wasn't anything else that appealed to me.
It was the first thing that I had found that I loved to do, and something that didn't bore me, that I could really interact with people who I wanted to be with, and just discover new talents.
Getting to use the kind of professional cameras and equipment that are used in the industry, it makes you feel like your film is professional. Makes you feel like what you're doing is being taken seriously. You don't feel like a child in school or anything like that.
My film 6 Steps Away, the first film that I've made here, was chosen to be screened in London at the National Film Festival. We went to London by a plane and went to like a big cinema with other people who have won things. And it was just really surreal having your film screened in London. It's something that I just have now in my list of experiences and can just, it just feels really, I'm just proud of having that. I can just tell everyone all the time.
The first thing I went to was Brighton Film Festival down in England, and it won group senior award there, which is kind of mental, thinking people at the other side of the country were watching your film.
The fact that our film was then screened in California was quite surreal. I didn't really know what to think when we got told that, but I was talking about it with a friend and it was just like, oh, in Hollywood already.
And then I was asked to be a trainee tutor on the kind of next generation of cashback films.
Developing other kids, bringing them up and telling them this is how the camera works, this is how the sound works, and seeing them wanting to get involved is quite enjoying to see.
I think it was pretty smart on Screen Education's side because I had went through making this film with cashback and I knew what it felt like, so I could take that and then put it to the people I was helping teach.
It was a nice feeling of progression, and it was a steep move as well for me. Am I ready for this? And talking to the tutors and the mentors, and they really did make me feel, well, yeah, I can do this. It's more training for me, and it's getting to help the next year, the next round of kids who want to get into it. So that was very rewarding for me.
It is a brilliant project, and I love the way it's so flexible that you can suit it to the young people that you're working with and the environment that you're in, be it within school, out of school. And it's definitely something worthwhile to try, and there's so many extension activities you could do with this.
I always thought that filmmaking would be more of a hobby. I kind of just get a normal job, if you will, but definitely after doing this course, I was like, filmmaking, this is either this or I'm going to end up in Tesco's, and to be honest, I know I'm going to do this.
After being at Screen Ed, I am now going to study film at uni, and I've always felt like at Screen Ed I could get support for anything in film, so talk about my career and my future, and they've definitely helped me think about what I wanted to do and gain confidence in myself. I feel like if I hadn't been here, I wouldn't have been that confident about my own ideas and my own talents.
Just last week I'm back from having a film screening in Paris, which was like 2 years ago when I first came to Screen Ed. You just told me that in a couple of years I'd have been sitting in a Paris cinema watching my film. I would have laughed at you, but because of Screen Ed I've been able to do that, and now that I'm going on to do film at university, the actual reality of having a job in film was starting to become real.
2.5 years ago, if someone told me that I would be here now with the career path that I wanted to go down now, I wouldn't have believed them, because at that time I hadn't even considered filmmaking as a career. I didn't know that it was available to me. Through Screen Ed, I've made my own short films, and I've seen other people make short films on small budgets and work their way up to bigger and bigger projects. And hopefully through that and through this experience I will go on to make more films and study at uni. And that's what I want to spend my life doing. After my experience at Screen Ed, what I want to do now is with my life is to be involved in filmmaking,